So, hello everyone. Welcome to BISP Solutions. Today we are going to understand the technical aspects of the migration project. Let's move ahead and let's see our table of content. So first we are going to see the introduction part, uh, purpose of this document, use of this document, scope of the project, uh, then what is the workflow, staging area, purpose of staging area, component of staging area, workflow of staging area, what is cleansing, and method of archive data cleaning, uh, data transformation, why data transformation is required, data transformation steps we are going to see, then we are going to see mapping, Oracle integration, then again we are going to do the validation that will be in after the file is uploaded into the Oracle. Then after we are going to see the standard tools for validation. Uh, then we will see how to perform data validation, challenges in the data validation, and Oracle. Uh, what are the data validation in target system? So let's move ahead and let's move to our introduction part. So the introduction is the company have recently expanded its operation into India through acquisition. Now requires a new ERP application specifically for human resource, which refers to managing employee-related functions, and data security, which involves protecting sensitive data from breach and ensuring compliance with privacy regulations. The purpose in human resource and data security purpose in compliance with local regulation. The chosen application must support multiple currency reporting. Uh, Currency reporting means the ability to generate financial reports in different currencies, especially essential for companies operating in multiple countries, and accommodate different HR standards. This means the system must accommodate varying HR practices and regulations in different countries where the companies operates. For example, US based companies practice like at will employment, and India's mandatory gratuity payment. uh, okay, so such as local regulation for India and global HR practices for the US at the subsidiary level. Uh, uh, Additionally, scalability with API integration and web services. For example, adding more users or modules as the company grows, integrating with third-party application like a CRM is essential to accommodate future growth. The client also necessitates the capability to generate both external compliance report and internal HR. External compliance report ensures the company meet regulatory requirement, while internal HR analytics provide insights to improve HR strategies and employee management. Analytics are tailored to their specific need. They prefer offline data import methods such as Excel-based import and requires features like role-based access. So the access control. Mm. So access control where user have different permissions based on their role within the organization. Audit trails. Uh, so audit trails, detailed record. Audit trails. So detailed record that track changes and access to data important for security and compliance. And data visualization, tools within the ERP system that present data in visual format like charts and graphs, making it easier to interpret within the HR modules. Uh, let's move ahead and see transition to uh, Oracle Fusion. Let's understand why the company is what the company is facing issues. So let's study the current situation. So the current situation with QuickBook is uh, they are facing two difficulties, which is financial management and HR management. So the company uses QuickBook to managing accounts, payroll, and financial reporting. QuickBook is suitable for companies' operation in the US, but lack the scalability and international compliance features which are required for expansion. So the company is only able to manage their accounts, payroll, and financial reporting in the company is residing in US. The next is HR management. Basic HR functions like payroll and employee record are managed in QuickBooks, but it lacks advanced features like role-based access, audit trails, and extensive data analytics. So these are few of the uh, problems that they are facing while they are moving to from US to India. So they are unable to manage their uh, financials and HR management. So the challenges in QuickBook they are facing is limited support to multi-currency transaction, and reporting. So the second is inadequate compliance features for local regulations in India. Basic HR functionalities without advanced feature and analytics. And So these are the challenges they are facing in QuickBooks. And next, the benefits what we are providing for in Oracle Fusion is financial management. In financial management, we are providing multi-currency support, compliance with local regulation, advanced financial reporting. So multi-currency support means the Oracle Fusion ERP can handle multi-currency transaction, allowing the company to manage its finance seamlessly across different countries. For example, when processing transaction in Indian rupees and US dollar, Oracle Fusion automatically converts and reports in both countries. Compliance and local regulations. Oracle Fusion ERP ensure compliance with Indian financial regulations such as GST, Goods and Services Tax, and local financial reporting standards. This helps the company avoid legal issues and streamline tax reporting. The third thing is advanced financial reporting. Oracle Fusion provides advanced financial analytics and reporting tools, allowing the company to generate detailed financial statements and compliance report tailored to both Indian and US standards. The second benefit the Oracle Fusion is providing is HR management. In that, first is global and local HR standards, role-based access and security. The third is data visualization and analytics. So let's discuss each point. So global and local HR standards. So Oracle Fusion HCM supports the company's need to comply with different HR standards. It allows customization to meet Indian labor law while maintaining global HR practices. For instance, the system can handle India's leave policy, provident fund contribution, and other local HR requirements. Second is role-based access security. Oracle Fusion HCM offers role-based access control, ensuring that only authorized personnel can access sensitive employee data. For example, HR management in India can view and manage local employee record, while global HR leader can access the border data inside. Data visualization and analytics. The HR team can use Oracle Fusion HCM data visualization tool to create dashboard that tracks key HR metrics such as employee turnover rates, training completion, and performance review. These insights help in making data-driven decisions to improve HR processes. The third benefit which Oracle is providing is integration and scalability. In that, API integration and web services scalability with future growth. API integration and web services. Oracle Fusion robust API integration capabilities allow the company to integrate with new ERP system with existing tool and applications seamlessly. For example, integrating with local banks for payroll processing in India. Scalability for future growth. As the company continues to grow, Oracle Fusion can easily scale to accommodate additional users, transactions, and business processes without significant disruption. Uh, so, if we conclude everything, by transitioning from QuickBook to Oracle Fusion, the company gains a more powerful, scalable solution that supports multi-currency operations, compliance with international and local regulations, and provide advanced HR management capabilities. This transition enables the company to manage its expanded operation in India effectively while preparing for future growth. Now let's move and see the scope of the project. So the process begins with extracting data from QuickBook, followed by validating the extracted data to ensure it is correct. If the file is incorrect, then we again ask for the relevant file. Otherwise, the file is moved to temporary storage area. Uh, known as the staging area. In the staging area, the data undergoes cleansing to remove error and inconsistencies. After transformed data uh, is then mapped from QuickBooks field to corresponding fields in Oracle Fusion. The map data is validated to ensure its accuracy. The data validated is prepared for integration with Oracle Fusion by converting it into a DAT file, which is then zipped and uploaded to Oracle Fusion. File if the file upload fails, the process return to the staging area. If successful, the process move to post upload data validation, which involves checking log files using BI Publisher for backend validation and validating through the Oracle Fusion user interface. If the validation fails, the process returns to the staging area. If all validation pass, the process concludes successfully. So this is all about the scope of the project. Let's move ahead. And now let's see the workflow of the uh, workflow. So first uh, we download we extract the data from the QuickBook, and then we are going to check if the data we received is correct or not. So let's say we asked for the employee data and we received uh, company's data, so that will be incorrect. So we will ask the relevant person to send us the correct file. So then after we check the data, if the data if incorrect in data, if that is no, then we are going to further move into staging area. So in staging area, the data we keep it in temporary storage area. In that there are four processes. First is cleansing, the second is data massaging, third is mapping, the fourth is validation. uh, After mapping, we will check for data validation. If everything is correct, then we will further move to Oracle integration part, where we are going to generate a DAT file, and we will store every data in that. We are going to create a zip file for that DAT file, and then we are going to upload that to the Oracle Fusion HCM. Then we are going to check if the file is loaded in target. If it fails, then we are going to again go to the DAT file, and we are going to make all the necessary changes, and then again we are going to follow the same process, like create a zip file, then we are going to upload it into the Oracle Fusion HCM. So after that, if it pass, so the file is uploaded successfully in the Oracle Fusion instance, then we are going to do the further validation in that target. So first we are going to check the file log file. Then we are going to validate the data in the backend with the BI Publisher, and then we are also going to validate the data in our UI. So we are going to check that validation in 3 steps. After that, if the data is validated, then we are going to end the process. If the data is not validated, so then we are again going to follow the staging, come to the staging area, and we will again going to follow the same process, these steps like cleansing, data massaging, mapping, data validation, and then we will upload it to the Oracle integration. Okay, so let's now look at the staging area. So the first thing we are going to do is cleansing. So the first step is, these are some of the standards we are going to follow for the data cleansing process. The first is we will check for remove duplicates. When you collect data from source, there are good chances you will end up with duplicate items. Duplicates will significantly alter the data and can make data difficult to interpret when you try to visualize it. So it's preferable to remove them as soon as possible. The second thing is remove any data which isn't relevant. Before initiating the data cleansing process for migration, it's crucial to discern between relevant and irrelevant data. Just as unnecessary information can impede analysis, irrelevant data can complicate and slow down the migration process. For instance, if the object is to migrate employee information, there is no need to include unrelated data field like client email address. Thus, defining the scope or relevant data ensures a streamlined and efficient migration process. The third thing is standardized capitalization. It is essential to maintain consistency in formatting of uh, of your data. Using different capitalization styles may result in separate and incorrect categories, which can lead to translation issues during processing. During processing, for instance, the term chase could represent a person name, while chase or to chase could indicate a different concept. To avoid such discrepancies, it's advisable to standardize the text formatting to lowercase during data cleansing processes. This ensures accuracy and coherence in the migrated data. The third thing is the fix accuracies. Ensuring the accuracy of your data is paramount in a migration project. Even minor inaccuracies such as typographical error can lead to significant issues and hinder the migration process. To mitigate these risks, conducting a thorough spell check can help identifying and rectify misspellings and unnecessary punctuations. For instance, inaccuracies in email addresses could result in communication breakdowns with stakeholders. Moreover, such errors may inadvertently lead to transmission of email to individuals who do not consent to receive them, potentially causing disruptions in the migration process. Thus, diligent data validation and error corrections procedures are essential to ensure the integrity and reliability of the migrated data. The fifth is uh, inconsistent format. So, inconsistencies in formatting are another type of error. To maintain a constant standard currencies, for example, if you have a column of US dollar figures, you must convert every other currency into US dollars. This holds true for all other type of measurements units as as well. Clear formatting. The sixth is formatting. Overly structured data can pose challenges for processing, particularly when integrating machine learning models. Gathering data from diverse sources often results in encountering a range of data formats, lead to inconsistencies and inaccuracies. To address this, it's imperative to eliminate any formatting applied to the documents to establish a uniform data set. Fortunately, standardized So fortunately, standardization features available in tools like Excel and Google Sheets simplify this process, ensuring a consistent starting point for data migration. Uh, these other data transformation, mapping, and data validation we will discuss in the slides. So, and discuss about data transformation. So, what is data transformation and why data So why data transformation? So here we convert and structure data into usable format. To ensure the usability of the extracted data, it must be transformed into the desired format by taking it through number of steps. Let's move ahead and see for the steps we are going to follow for the data transformation. Data first is data interpretation. This is the initial phase of data transformation involves analyzing your data to determine its current format and requires format for transformation. For instance, the data received from the source system might lack the necessary file extensions for compatibility with the target system or the format of the target system may diverge from that of the source system, making it necessary to make adjustment during the transformation process. So let's move ahead and see. So here, this is what we have received from our from the source system. This is a sample from the source system, and then this is what we need in the in our target system. So uh, this is how we are going to analyze the data and the current format and the required format for the transformation. The second is pre-translation data quality checks. Once you or your data transformation tool have figured out which kind of format you are working with and which form you will transform data into, you should run a data quality check. A data quality check allows you to identify problems such as missing or corrupt values within a database in the source data that could lead to problems during later steps of the data transformation process. The third is data translation. After after the data quality of your source data has been maximized, you can begin the process of actual translating data. Data translation means taking each part of your source data and replacing it with data that fits within the formatting requirements of your target data format. Example So let's move to data translation. So this is an example. So the date of birth format for the source system changed to target system date format. So this is from this format of date. Uh, Date is coming from the source, and we required this format for the target system. So we have converted it into this format. So first comes the year, then month, then the date. Uh, so after this, the fourth step which comes for the transformation is post translation data quality check. So first we did after interpretation of the data, then we did retranslation data quality check, and after the data translation, we are going to do post translation data quality check. So in order to ensure that your translated data will be maximally useful, you will also want to perform a data quality check. In this step of the process, you look for inconsistencies, missing information, or other error that may be introduced during the data translation. Okay, so let's move ahead, and now we are going to see the mapping. So mapping refers to the process of establishing a relationship between data field in the source system and their corresponding counterparts in the target system. For example, let's say you are migrating customer data for an old database to a new one. In the old database, you find a field like first name, last name, and email address. In the new database, those fields might be named slightly different, like given name, surname, and email. Mapping involves identifying the first name is in the old database should be mapped to the given name in the new database. Uh, so in our project, we are going to map the data field in the source and target in a Excel. So here, if you see the Mr., Miss, and these are the these are coming from the source on the left hand side, and these are from the we have done the mapping with the target system. So here if you see the date of birth is here the date of birth is different without spaces, and if you see the first name and last name, there are no spaces, and the Mr. Miss, and these things are uh, uh, taken as title in our target. So okay, now we are going to see the data validation in source. So what are the rules of consistencies? There are 5 rules of consistencies. First is a clear rule, automation, profiling and cleaning, standardization, standardized format, cross-reference checks. So the what is clear rule? Set clear criteria for acceptable data like type, format, range, relationship. Document and communicate these rules. Automation. Use a data validation tool or scripts to automate checks against your rules, identifying issues instantly. Profiling and cleaning. Analyze data for patterns, outliers, and inconsistencies before validation. Cleanse data by addressing formatting errors, duplicates, and invalid values. Standardized format. Agree on agree on agree on and enforce consistent data format across all sources and platform. Cross-reference check verify data relationship within and across data sets. Uh, then the second thing is first validation is we are going to check for the rule of consistency. Then we are going to follow the data type. This rule ensures that data being entered has the correct data type as required by the field. For example, text. If any other data is entered, it should be rejected by the system. The third one is code check. This data validation rule checks whether the value is from a list of accepted values like the zip code of a certain location. Uh, the third is range. This value verifies if the data entered falls into the range specified, for example, between 20 and 30 characters. Value outside the predefined range are invalid and not accepted by the system. Consistent expressions. It is important that the data entered make logical sense. For instance, the date of leaving must be later than the date of joining. This type of rules ensures logical consistency of data entered. Then comes format. Several data types have a defined format like a date. The validation rule. In this case, the validation rule in this case ensures every input adheres uh, to the required format. Then comes the uniqueness. Some data fields need to contain unique values if defined. For example, no two user can use the same phone number in case it is used to identify individual user. The uniqueness validation rule checks the entered data against the stored value and ensures no two records have the same values for that field. No null values. Certain input fields must contain values and cannot be empty. This rule ensures the same standard for formatting. Along with validating the data, its structure must also be validated to ensure that the data model being used is compatible with application that are being used to work with the data. There are many agencies, private, government, and non-profit that help in maintaining the format of the file and their standards. The structure of the file holds data are continuously being worked upon, defining, documenting, and developing them. It is essential to thoroughly understand the structure and standard of the data model that contain the data set being used. Without such a validation, one might end up with data files that are not compatible with other data sets or application that needs to use them. So how to perform data validation? First, we determine sample size. To begin a sample of data is determined. This is useful when the dataset is massive because it is easier to validate a part rather than the whole set. The volume of the sample needs to be according with the size of the dataset, and an acceptable error rate must be defined before the process is initiated. Next, the data set is validated to confirm it contains all the required data. Finally, the those data's value, structure, and format, etc., is matched with the schema of the destination. The data is checked and redundant, incomplete, inconsistent, or incorrect values as well. What are the challenges in data validation? Siloed and outdated data. Given the disturbed nature of data across an organization, it is a given that some data would be siloed or even old. Validation of such a data set is one of the major challenges we face. Time consuming. Validation is a time consuming process, especially when handling large data set or when it is performed manually. A solution of this challenge would be to create a sample of the data and validate it for a acceptable failure rate. Risk of error. The absence of artificial intelligence-based validation tool means most of the validation are carried out manually. This leads to error and data redundancy. Lack of data management understanding. There is also expert ex- expertise in data management process, which eventually leads to a lot of irrelevant and stale data being stored in the data set. Without a proper understanding of the business rule, the resource end up struggling with the validation requirements. Uh, let's move and see the Oracle integration part. Once the file is loaded into the Oracle HCM data loader, it performs two tasks. Firstly, it conducts an import process where it validates the format and required attributes. For instance, if the date format provided in the start date field is 1904 uh, 1904 the system will throw an error during import stating you must enter the date for the start date attribute in YYYMMDD format. Secondly, it proceed to load the data, verifying if the provided value in the merge operation contains a specific value and whether the required attributes are present for data loading into the Oracle database. Upon successfully import and data loading, we will move to data validation. So now let's move to data validation. So uh, we are now going to do the data validation in the target system. So we are going to perform three checks in the data validation. First, we are going to examine the log file which provide us with a comprehensive overview of the data uh, load process. So this will let us know the date file is uploaded successfully or not. Then we are going to check the uploaded data into the BI publisher. So we are so that we can check if the data is present in the backend or not, which we have uploaded. Then the third check we are going to do, or the validation we are going to do, is we are going to check in the UI, user interface. In this phase, we will navigate through the user interface of Oracle Fusion to search for the individual. So suppose if we uploaded a data of a person, then we are going to check for the person name and check for the details that we have loaded and verify that everything is okay, fine. Okay, so this is all for today. For tomorrow, we'll go go with the loading the data, and we will see the mapping sheet and the file with which we are loading, and we will also see how we can load the data onto our Oracle Fusion. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this.